want to gain or win in council is my brother back. Because the whole point is with you. I have malice in heart for you. I don't want revenge. I don't feel slighted. Even if you offended me, I don't want to hurt you. I'm trying to just make sure that I or you don't get to a point where we hurt each other. I genuinely just want to be back in a space where we're laughing and talking about growing greens and doing shit with the Akim and getting food together and chilling. I'm trying to get back there with you. I'm not here to weaponize counsel. I'm not trying to use the generals like a scorned woman uses 911 against you. I want us to fix the bond. I want to gain my brother. That's why I'm going to council. Because I can't gain you alone. Help me gain this brother back. If you're going to council for any other reason, now you lose. The only thing I want to gain or win in council is my brother back. Because the whole point that we're here is because we're beefing. Dog, I don't want to beef with you. I have no malice in my heart for you.
Go ahead.
This is book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 17.
Yeah.
And the work of righteousness shall be peace.
The work of what shall be peace?
Righteousness shall be peace.
Yeah, see, peace is the product of righteousness. I'm bringing this, the law, this Wednesday law class is about healing. That's what this is about. This is about healing because, again, the Bible has been so disassociated with us as a people. We just look at it as like, it's just another, it's like a club. Like I could join that club, or I could join the Club Islam, or I could join Club Taoism, or I could join Club Kemet, or join Club Nature, or join this. Like you can, it's like a club that you can join and jump in and out of when you want to, when it's cool, and you don't really associate yourself deeply with it like you would your mom or your. All right, everybody clap it up. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York City, under Commanding General Yahanna. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We teach the truth according to the Bible, that the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are God's chosen people. Today's class is entitled State of Emergency. This is an important class. Most of it is going to have to do with family. It's going to have to do with family. It's going to have to do with the family structure, a man, a woman, children, or in other cases, a wife, a husband, children, sons, daughters, right? This is what is most important in the earth. Nothing is more important than family, all right? When you look back, during the time of slavery, Black people had 70% to 80% of Black families had both parents in the household. And this was during slavery time. Slavery. You just think about that for 1 second, all right? Just think about that. We're talking about chattel slavery, like really being put in plantations on reservations, whipped, mutilated, oppressed, tormented. We couldn't even have enjoyed time with our family. We were being unalived. It's so much cruel things that were happening to us if you're familiar with slavery in America. Well, even though in America we were in slavery and we were going through all of these hellish conditions beyond inhumane, we still managed to maintain a strong household. We still manage to maintain a house where a man and a woman raise their children together. That's what we were able to do, which goes to show you that slavery and the times we living in did not have an effect on how we were able to, maneuver, or how we were able to, the outcomes of our households. And that's what I want to kind of get into today. I want to kind of shed light on the facts and weed out some things that are, unpopular beliefs, but that are just untrue. Things that people don't, disregard or don't really, give much attention to be able to point those things out in an effort to probably help families to grow, help families to stay together, help husbands and wives to be able to have long, healthy marriages together. And ultimately, and more importantly, for children who are always get the short end of the stick, to be able to have a healthy future as children, right? To have to have a healthy development. This is a state of emergency. Let's talk about the situation what's happening right now, even with Meg Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Like, Meg Thee Stallion is known as a whore artist. That's what she is. She just raps about, there's some whores in his house, all of the stuff that she does with men to be able to get her tuition paid or get a new car or, get her nails done. How at the end of it all, that WAP belongs to her and not that man. This type of woman is the woman that's influencing little girls today. You understand? Little girls are looking up to this type of woman, and this is their influence, and they're saying to themselves, I want to be like Meg Thee Stallion. I want to be like Cardi B. I want to be like Sexy Red. That's what they want to be like. They want to be like them. But in reality, if you have daughters, take me to give me the scripture real quick in Leviticus chapter one that says the land fall to whoredom. I think it's in Leviticus, maybe let me see. Yeah, Leviticus, y'all gotta help me find these too. Leviticus chapter. Oh, wait 1 second. Just give me where it says the land will fall to whoredom, all right? Oh, wait. It's Leviticus 19 and 29. If we have women like this that are influencers, that are the role models for young women to look up to, and it ain't just start with Meg Thee Stallion. We got women before that was, the same kind of, who remembers when the age of the video vixens and stuff like that. Who remember that? Because for a long time, rap has been a male-dominated industry, right? And for so long, the women in the rap industry were more than likely video vixens, is what they used to call it back in the day, video vixens. And they would be, it was a merge or a boom of the video vixen era, where women that were going to school and college and getting good jobs and educations now wanted to be the one in the videos with P. Diddy, and the ones that are getting the auditions to do the dancing, and Jay-Z's videos and DMX videos, and they wanted to be video vixens. And that was kind of like a big part of the transition of where we see the introduction of whoredom of our sisters start to come into real play in media. But then over time, we got products of those things, of that culture, that translated into now the emergence of female rappers now. And they come up and they start now become, the rappers that talk about, like what's Little Kim, right? Little Kim, Eve, some of these other rappers that came out, and they was just, very vulgar, very unmodest. They were not modest. They were, they didn't speak
like a daughter of Zion. They didn't speak like a righteous woman would speak. And this became, again, this is the part of the growth of that era. Well, I'm saying all that to say the product of that is what we're seeing today. Why are families falling apart? Families are falling apart because, one, women are not becoming wives. And not in talking about a ring on their finger or the title. I'm talking about the identity, the character of a wife, the duties of a wife, the persona of a wife, the characteristics. It's not what it is no more. Women are looking for a man to marry, to get half of his money, and then let him go and do and repeat that again and repeat that again. It's all about money now. It's all about money, and they have no integrity. Well, then on the same token, because of people like P. Diddy, because of people like Jay-Z and all these other people, we got men who glorify that, and then we wonder why we don't have families. Why our family structure is devastated. The nuclear black home is destroyed. We don't have the morals that we used to have before. And this is what we're seeing right now. Go ahead and read what I asked you for. Right?
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 29.
Mm-hmm.
Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Do not do what?
Prostitute thy daughter.
Yeah, so like when you think about prostituting your daughters, like Meg Thee Stallion is a daughter. That's somebody's daughter. Sexy Red, that's somebody's daughter. We look at her shaking her tail on TV and at the Super Bowl and all these, places that they perform at. And it may be entertaining to a lustful man, and it may be entertaining to a promiscuous woman. But in reality, if you really sit back and think about it, this is somebody's daughter. This is somebody's daughter. You understand? And what's happening is there's occasions where parents are not condoning this type of behavior. Right? It's more common that children are watching the media, watching social media, and those are the things that are influencing them to be those type of people. And then there's other situations where parents are prostituting their daughters. They are aware that their daughter is at Diddy's mansion. They're aware of it. They're aware that their daughters are with R. Kelly. They're aware of this. They know what's happening. And they don't care because it's all about money. And that's exactly what prostitution is. They are going out and they're being lascivious. They're being promiscuous, all for money. And what's happening is, read that part again.
Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Right. And they were prostituting their daughter. And what's happening because of that?
To cause her to be a whore.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Lest the land
Less, meaning unless, like, don't prostitute your daughter. Don't put her in places where she's not going to learn morals, where she's not going to be able to maintain her integrity. You putting her in places and in positions and teaching her things that's going to make her a whore. Don't prostitute your daughter unless that she may become a whore, unless, go ahead.
Lest the land fall to whoredom.
Unless the land falls to whoredom. And that's what we're dealing with right now. The land is falling to whoredom. Right now, we got families that are headed by women. Why? Not because, excuse my language, but niggas ain't shit. That ain't just it, right? That's not just the exclusive blanket explanation for all of this. But in a lot of cases, it's because women have no integrity. Women don't have the right leadership. They wasn't raised by their dads in the house because their mama kicked their dad out the house and made sure he didn't see his kids. And the chain generational goes on and on and on and on. And then now we see again where these same things. So now we look back at the statistics during slavery, where 80% of homes had both parents in it, to now, and being free, supposedly, right? Being free now, we see the exact opposite of that. 80% of homes only have one parent, and most of those are headed by women. Right. This is a clear sign of what's actually happened, and this Bible warned us of this time. It warned us of this. We should be correcting our sisters, not, like General Muhammad said, we should not, take a woman's side who's being a whore just because she's a woman. That's crazy. That's foolish. So you as women are gonna stand together because y'all are women, even though you have sisters that are behaving like whores. That's what you call respect of a person. You respect this person because they're a woman. You respect this person because they're a man. You respect this person because they have money. You respect this person because of their job they have or their clout. You respect them. And for that reason, you'll turn a blind eye to the wrong that they do. And the Bible warns us of that too as well. And all it's going to amount to is the fall of the black society, man. The fall of Hispanic and Native Indian society. Our homes are going to be torn apart. I mean, and it's so bad right now. Again, it's really a state of emergency for us to be able to see that we don't have a lot of successful families. So many of us are being born into trauma. You understand? Developed in trauma. And we grow up, and then what do we do as adults? We behave like children. Take me to Isaiah, all right? We behave like children. That's what we do because we never grew up. Just imagine being taught as a child that love is flowers. Love is candy, chocolate candy. And on Valentine's Day, whatever man gives you flowers, he loves you. And whatever man gives you chocolates, they love you, and vice versa. Love is, the sex that you have, and love is the kisses and the letters and the notes and the attention that you get. That's love. That's pretty childish, wouldn't you say? Because now you become an adult, and all you've been associated with love as a child is gifts. Then now you can easily make a mistake by marrying someone on the wrong pretenses. Someone who will give you gifts and give you chocolates and woo you and game you up and riz you up, and you'll say, this person loves me, and then that person will absolutely hurt you. In the same action and the same tongue that they'll love you, they'll hurt you. They'll hate you. You understand? And that's what we've done. We've gone and grown up in a world where we didn't learn true wisdom. We didn't learn morals. And we grew up and we just became grown children. Give me Isaiah, I think 3:12 maybe. All right. Let me get that.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people.
As for my people. So now this scripture, we're talking about particularly my people, which is the Bible. The people of the Bible are the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's the God of Israel. That's what he says all the time. The God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He's speaking to his people, the lost sheep of the house of Israel, again, who we know to be the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians today. He's saying, my people, go ahead.
Children are their oppressors.
As for my people, children are their oppressors. Now, again, let's just hone in on this for a second, because it says, as for my people. This what we seeing happening right now amongst black people, you don't see happening amongst white people. General Muhammad brought it out the other day. Donald Trump will grab you by the box. He molests little kids, and he's very, very he's sexual. He's a big sexual harasser, right? He talks about little girls like they're just pieces of meat. He's on Epstein Island. He says these things, he does these things, and it's all known. But what do white people do? Say, what white men ain't shit? Oh, we don't need no man? You hear white women saying that? Well, we don't need no man? No, they still went and voted for Donald Trump. Most of Donald Trump's winning votes came from white women because they don't care how much of a douchebag he is. He's a felon. He's a child molester. He's all of these things. But I know that he's my only hope for survival. He's my only hope for survival. to protect me from being a second-class citizen, to protect me from being molested by a black man or a Hispanic man, or being ruled over by a Hispanic man or a black man. Like, I don't want to be second to black people. For that reason, I know he's a douchebag, he's a felon, but he's going to make sure that I am put up, as women say. You know what I mean? He's going to make sure I'm put up. Go ahead, your call.
It's like, so that's heavy that you bring that out, because, you know, during Trump's first term, you know, this was before I was in the UPK, and, you know, my baby mama's good friend is an Edomite, right? And she's like a highly self-esteemed feminist or what have you. And she turned around and said, finally, there's a woman running for president.
Right.
But when she hit the voting booth, you know who she voted for?
Wow.
She voted for Donald Trump.
See?
Because she knew that he was the best for white society.
Yep. That's right, brother. What you and the proof is all there. And again, we don't pay attention to it because we're deceiving our own selves by the lust that we have. You know what I mean? The lust we have for a woman wanting to have only one man, you know, and putting that above real qualities, you know what I mean? Real box checks, or men wanting a woman that, you know, is got sex appeal and know how to shake a rump and things like that over someone who has real qualities to raise a child and be a wife. We're delusional. But these other nations, they're not like that. They know the importance of the man. And even though they mistreat their women, and even though they do all kind of crazy things to their women and rule over them like animals or like pets, they still value their men. They still do. Now, black man, Hispanic, and Native Indian, we should never behave and treat our women like white people treat their women. And that's why we're in the position we're in right now. We're doing the molesting and the raping and things like that because we're following after white masculinity. We're following after white culture. And this is the beginning of our fall. But the Most High is showing us that we're his people and we're the ones who are falling. We're the ones who are in pain and suffering. Your family is destroyed, not the white family. Your family is destroyed. You're the one that doesn't have adequate income. You're the one that doesn't have food, consistent food on the table. You're the one who's undereducated. It's you who are in the abortion clinics and you that's in the unemployment line and everywhere else at a funeral every week. It's you. You're the one in therapy. You're the one in counseling every day. It's us. You understand? And the Lord is pointing that out because he's trying to show us that this would happen and why it would happen. He said, what? Read it again for me.
This book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 12.
Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Children are their oppressors. Is this talking about literal children? Yeah, it can be. It can be. You want to know why? Because who's running the neighborhoods? When you go in the neighborhoods, who's the ones on the corner? Who's the ones standing out in front of the apartments? It's the YNs that's out there. The one young kids that's hey, old lady, watch out. Hey, move, old lady. Hey, give me that purse. Hey, move, old man. You ain't gonna tell me nothing, OG. Running the neighborhood. Running everybody. Everybody's scared of them. Children are their oppressors. But it ain't just the children, because you remember the time when grandmothers would be homemakers. You remember that? Grandmothers were homemakers. They would take care of the house. They wasn't outside. They was inside. They were taking care of the house. And they were taking care of the kids. And in a lot of cases, they'll take care of the grandkids too. You could drop the grandkids off of granny. You understand what your mama and them. Now, grandmothers are outside. Grandmothers are outside now. Granddads they're outside living their best life. They're behaving like what? Like children. And these are the OGs. This is the OGs. This auntie them. This auntie, uncle them. They out in the streets you know what I mean, at the club, throwing money, getting prostitutes, doing, living, buying jewelry and, living like a YN. And we got to come to them for wisdom. We got to come to, this is the OGs. This is the mama. This is our mama that raised us. This is my son's grandmother. This is my son's grandfather. If they can't, if whatever they're gonna get from me, I got it from them. And at the end of the day, when the disconnect begin to happen throughout generations, all of what we ultimately are learning is white culture. How do we know? Because again, in slavery time, we had better marriages, better families in slavery time. But of course, that was when we first came here, right? On slave ships. So we were still connected to whatever it was that we had prior to coming here. Our morals, our culture, so on and so forth. But over time, we begin to get groomed by white people, the buck being broken, and us being, things waved in our face like 4th of July and Christmas, things that we can't have. You can't celebrate Christmas. You can't go get married and get a marriage certificate. You can't go and travel the world. You can't go and start a business. You can't do these things. So then now, after so many years of not being able to, what do you think is going to happen when they make us free? That's the first thing we want to do. We want to go celebrate Christmas now. Now we can. So you saying we free? So we can celebrate Christmas now. So we can celebrate Thanksgiving too with you. Oh, we can celebrate birthdays, or we can celebrate now. We can do what you do now. That's what we became free to do after slavery. We became free to do the things that the white people didn't allow us to do, that they was doing. That's what we became free to do. You didn't become free like Moses became free. How did Moses became free? Moses wanted to let his people go so that they can go serve their God. That's what Moses said. Let my people go that we may go into the wilderness and serve our God. That was freedom in that time. That's freedom. That's real freedom. But the freedom that we were given in America after slavery was the freedom to be like white people. And what happened over time, we became like white people. And now that 80% of homes that was headed by a man and a woman has slowly decreased. And now it's on the flip side of 80% of homes that only have one parent. You understand? It's completely flipped. And it's at the point now that we have enough data, enough years and experience, and we've seen it with our own eyes, the destruction of families, cheating, infidelity, right? Unaliving or murder, you know what I mean, of each other, that we can now look and see and say, damn, we've completely fallen off the deep end. This is a state of emergency. We see it. The children are our oppressors. You celebrate now. We celebrate the Christmas for the children. Children, I do it for the children. I do this for the children. I gotta go sell drugs for the children. I gotta go strip for the children. I gotta do it for the children. The children are your oppressors. And they grow up and they don't never become grown. They just become older kids. And now they teaching their kids and their grandkids the same thing. And that's what this is talking about. Go ahead and read.
And women rule over them. And women rule over them.
They basically what I just got finished saying. 80% of households that's headed by a single parent is what parent?
Women.
Yeah, the woman. It's women. You can look at the statistics. Look around. Go outside. Knock on your neighbor's door. You know your homeboys and your homegirls that you go to school with. You know who's raising them. Their mom is raising them. Most of us was raised by our mom, and our dad was not there, right? This goes back. This has been a long time in the making here. Fathers being incarcerated, being, unalived, ran out of the house by a woman. Because now you got government assistance. Now welfare came into play. Now we can get the man out of here to get that government assistance. And then now you got the LGBTQ. Now they converting men into women. They've left their natural use altogether. And women are the ones raising the kids in the house. They're the ones taking up the responsibilities. How stressful do you think that is for women when you think about it? Those of us who have kids that know what it takes to raise a child, let alone two. You got a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 12-year-old, the dynamics, getting up in the morning, getting them dressed, sending them to school, got to go to work a job after that, get off from work, got to bring them home, got to feed them, got to discipline them, got to get them to sleep, got to that's stressful. That's a burden. It's overwhelming. And a lot of women are losing their minds. They got anxiety. You understand? They're becoming depressed. And what does that turn into? It turns into them now, they begin to lash out at their children. They can't even make a connection because they're in survival mode every day. You understand? They can't make a connection with their children because they're so annoyed at everything. Get out of my face. Leave me alone. Don't touch that. You get on my nerves. Oh, I hate you. You remind me of your daddy. And all this other. You see what I'm saying? Like it just, that's how they become. Some of us have had a mother like that, right? That's just snapping at us all day. And that's the results of that. So women are ruling over the houses, over the nation right now. Let's just say it the way it is. Women are ruling over the nation, and it's causing us to become weak. We're becoming weak. All right? Any more on that? Go ahead.
Oh, my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, women were not created to be the leaders. They were not created to be the head of the household. They were not created for that reason. They were created to be a helpmeet, to be a pillar of rest, to be homemakers, nurturers, servants to their man, to the men of their family. You know what I mean? And now they've been taking up the position of rulership because they are head of the household now. They are the ones, the breadwinners. You know what I mean? They are the ones who have the jobs that are the status, the jobs, the degrees, the doctorate degrees, and so on and so forth. And even though that doesn't make her in charge, that's exactly the position that the woman has been assuming all of this time, being in charge. And it's saying that women rule over them, and they that lead us cause us to error. They cause us to error. You see the results of children being born in these households. Young boys are not allowed to, or not, because of the lack of masculine influence or leadership. They don't know how to regulate their emotions. They become emotional. They handle things emotionally. And then that results in what? Bad behavioral issues in school. And then they do they grow up and start committing minor crimes, stealing out of the store. And then ultimately those things turn into long-term consequences. And then now we have young kids that are in the jail for the rest of their lives. Juvie life. You know what I mean? Transferred right over into big boy prison. You know what I mean? Little girls that didn't have the father in the household to validate her. Say, you look beautiful today, baby girl. You know, I love that. You're the best woman in the world. You know, you all of these great things. You look good. You're beautiful. You know, I'm so proud of you. Any man that get you would be very proud to have you. You know what I mean? That's validating her, because without that, now what do? They look for validation elsewhere. Your daughter is on social media, OnlyFans, looking for attention. They on OnlyFans looking for attention. They looking at on Hulu. They on Hulu watching those reality TV shows, Love and Hip Hop. They watching that, and they understand the validation from that. And that's not going to be well, because ultimately these women are going to become, what is it called? Premature parents. You know what I mean? Premature parents, pregnant at 15, 16. Don't know who the father is. All of these things that happen that we see all the time. This is not anything new. We see it happen all the time, but this is the result of the lack of men in the household. All right. So let me just address a couple of things right quick. take me back up to Isaiah the 3rd chapter, but go start off at like I think maybe like verse 3 or something like that. Male absence, like I was just talking about before, like incarceration, death, instability. Those things are a higher rate for black men than any other race of people. Economics we talk about this all the time in the UPK. We don't be just talking out the side of our necks. We are number one in all things evil and messed up, all plague and all curses. We're number one. We're number one in poverty. We're number one in single parent homes. We're number one in heart disease, number one in mental disorders. We are number one in all of those things, economic instability. And we also have a lot of these situations where men are, what I'm looking for, men are, not getting opportunities, like when it comes to like the job market, right? It's an attack on the black man, which is ultimately an attack on the black household. What is the precept? What's the precept of that? To what I just said just now. No. What's the precept that you don't. I'm just. There you go. Bind the strong man, and then you can first have to bind the strong man before you can spoil his goods. That's it. That's the precept. You cannot bind the strong man. You got to bind the strong man first to spoil his goods. And so getting black men out the house is a big part of the entire system of white supremacy. So now you have this even greater shortage of black men in the communities, in the households, right? Especially viable black men, decent black men, strong black men. All right? Go ahead and read what you got.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 3. The captain of 50.
Wait, go back up. Wait, let me see where you at. Let me start me off at verse 2. Well, you can start at verse 1. We'll read through it.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from Jerusalem and from Judah the stay and the staff, the whole stay of bread and the whole stay of water.
Yeah, everything we need to survive. We got everything we need as a home, house, authority, food, water. These things are we're starving. We're homeless. We're powerless. We're weak. This is the fall of us right here. This is our fall. You see the condition of black people in right now? This is what this is talking about in this Bible right now that we're reading. We're in this position right now. Go ahead and read. Why is it this way? Go ahead and read.
Verse 2. The mighty man and the man of war.
Yep.
The judge and the prophet and the prudent.
And the prudent. Go ahead.
And the ancient.
Now this is all talking about male figures. This is men that is talking about. There's a need for men. And again, as for my people, we don't understand that. Every other nation understands it. They understand the need for the Chinese woman, and people know the need for a Chinese man. So on for the Africans, the East Indians, Arabs, so on and so forth. They understand that. But we don't understand that. We don't know. But this is showing you the importance right now. The mighty man, right? The mighty man, the strong man, like I just talked about before. It ain't too many strong men. They're being broken by their woman. They're being broken by the court system, broken by the prison system, broken by the economic system. They're being broken in every way you can think of. Even the kids is now up against their demand, right? How many men now are in fear of how their kids are receiving them because of what they may have gone through with the mother of the kids, to the point where the mother got you out of the house and all this time your kids wasn't able to see you and they blame you. They say you wasn't there. Where you was at? You didn't care for us. You wasn't there when I threw the first football. You wasn't there when I did this. Now they getting persecution from the children. The mighty men aren't so mighty anymore, man. The man of war, nah. You know what I see when I'm with the brothers in the streets and we see a man, and he dressed like a girl, he walking like a girl, or he completely, got all of this makeup and stuff on. You know what we say? Man, damn, that's the warrior. Damn, that's the Akim. That's the Akim, the warrior. You see what I'm saying? That's our warriors. That's them in dresses. Trying to be cute. RuPaul. What's his name? What's his name? That played with Michael Jordan? Dennis Rodman with all them rings and weird stuff going on. Yeah, Dennis Rodman coloring the hair and all that fugazi stuff. Like, that's what we are seeing. That's the important part of why we're in the condition we're in right now. The mighty men and the man of war and the judge. Where are the judges at? Where are the men at that's correcting their women? That's correcting their children? The one that has the vision, the Lord's vision, that's able to say, sex is marriage. You my wife now because we've had sex, or you shouldn't eat that pork, and you shouldn't talk to your brother that way. Go talk to your brother, make this right. I have spoken. Where they at? Other than in the UPK, right? Because we deal with matters like that in the truth and in the world. We in the world and we telling, hey, sis, you can't, I don't know you, but you gotta make amends with that sister. That wasn't right what you did. Because we stand, we're mighty men. We're judges. We're men of war. But it's a shortage, brothers. It's a shortage, sisters. We got work to do. The Lord is showing you the fall, and it began with us, the men. It began with the brothers being taken away, like we just brought out. They're getting kicked out of the house. They're being reduced to nothing. They're being put in prisons. They're being convinced to be women and be feminine. Go ahead and read, Doc.
Verse 3, the captain of 50 and the honorable man and the counselor.
And the counselors, go ahead.
And the cunning artificer. And the eloquent orator.
Yeah, you see? All these important things are important. The artificer, which is like an inventor. Someone who's like a carpenter, a tradesman. We need that. Where are the tradesmen? Men is growing up now. What are they doing? They don't even know how to use a drill. They don't know how to use a drill. They don't even know what a hammer. They don't know the difference between a Phillip and a flathead. Don't know how to read a measuring tape. Can't calling somebody all of them calling somebody to come unclog their toilets. The oil need to be changed. They paying $100 every other week to get the oil changed. They couldn't change it if they wanted to. Can't change a tire. The artificer, right? The counselor, the person that's able to deal with the matters of the mind and the matters of situations and advise people. Where are they at in the world? Where are they at? There's nobody there, man. Everybody's grown, they say. I'm grown. I make my own decisions. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown woman. No, you're not. You're a child. You're a child. Who taught you? Who raised you? A child. And who taught you? Your father, the devil. That's what it all boils down to. You're just regurgitating things you've heard in society because the TV raised you. You were raised by TV. You was raised in church by lying pastors. You was raised in Christianity, which is completely a lie. You was raised in these school systems that's taking slavery out of the textbooks. That's what our kids is not even learning about slavery no more. They learning about the transatlantic migration. You're not getting the truth. You didn't get taught about wisdom. You didn't get taught wisdom. You're a child. And we don't have these things no more. We don't have an abundance of men like this who are going to deal with matters, who are going to be warriors, who are going to be artificers, right? Did I say that word right? You understand? There's going to be prudent. It's going to be captains over 50s. There's going to be eloquent orators. All of these things are important for society, man. We need those things. We don't need this. We can't depend on America. The mayors and the governors, them niggas don't care about us. We need black men in our community to play these roles. And a lot of them are not there and doing it because we've been bamboozled. We've been beat down and broke. The buck has been broken. You understand? And that's what this is saying. Let me get through this. Go ahead and read.
Verse 4. And I will give children to be their princes.
You see what I'm saying? That's just saying what I was saying earlier. Now, all these strong men that we used to have in the community, we used to have men like this. You go back to the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, men were like this. They were distinguished men. They were eloquent men, refined men that dressed dapper. That's what that word dapper. They dressed dapper. They had, that's what they talk about, chivalry. They had chivalry. And they treated women with respect. And guess what? The women were respectful. They were modest. They were feminine. They were submissive. But we've lost all of that. And now we become, I don't even know the word for it, man. Whores. We become whores. We become, whoremongers. We just animals. I think that's the best way to put it. We become animals. That's it. That's the lowest that's the far as you can fall, is being an animal. You become like the animals. But nothing guides you besides your blood and your intuition. And for that reason, now we get to the point where even children now got to come in and they run in the neighborhood. They telling everybody what to do. They the ones that's in charge. We all subject to the children now. You know what I mean? And they never develop right, and they wild. They unalive somebody in the blink of an eye. They snapping, what they call it, crashing out. They crashing out. That's what our leaders are doing. Our leaders are crashing out. Crashing out. Go ahead and read that.
And babes shall rule over them. And
babes shall rule over them. We just said that right now. You think about the mental capacity of a lot of these adults right now. You were like, and that's what I love the ISUPK. Because when we come into the truth, all that stuff we think we know, you'll be getting that counsel and be made to feel so stupid about things you decided to do in confidence. Things you were confident about, you drew up the plans and had it all figured out, and it don't go right, and then you go into counsel and they make you feel absolutely stupid because they are counseling based on wisdom. We've been all of this time acting out of, again, what we learned from TV and movies and Dr. Seuss books, basically. You understand? Sit. What's they call them books? Zane. Remember them Zane? Most of y'all don't might know about them Zane books. Them women be reading them Zane books. All them, ghetto stories and stuff. That's what we listening to, and that's what we taking information from. But we come into this, we have men like this, we can be corrected. We can be realigned. We can be transformed and not be babes. That's why the Bible says that when I was a child, I thought as a child and I spake as a child. We are babes. And it's time for us to become men. It's time for us to become women, to grow up. Go ahead and read.
Verse 5. And the people shall be oppressed.
There we go, man. We oppressed. I mean, I don't think some people may argue this and say we're not oppressed, right? Some of them people out there that just, love the white man so much, and they got a little bit of money and a little credit score, and now they believe that they're not oppressed. But in all actuality, the Bible says a gift destroyeth the heart. Them things you got, those are not, important. Those are not real, tangible. You see when down in Venezuela, they crashed the economy. All that money people fought and killed over was blowing down the street like tumbleweeds in the neighborhoods. That stuff you have, it can mean nothing tomorrow. That's not real. What's really real is that you identify as an American. You identified as an American. You cannot be a man and have multiple wives. You can't. You can't do it. Why? Because it's unlawful. You don't get to live how you want to live. You're not free. You're oppressed. This brother, what's his name? Klay Thompson did something that most women say they want and want from a man. What is that? The truth. Gave her the truth. And say, man, listen, shawty, I don't believe that I can be a man that can be monogamous. I don't believe that I can be a monogamous man. That's real. Ain't that the truth? That's what the people, girls, women say they want, right? Well, he gave her the truth and said, I'm going to deal with other women. I'm going to. But you know it's also a bad thing in the midst of it all? She cannot take it, and they're so jammed up because in society that it would be a good thing because he told it to her before they got married, right? Before they went into a wedding ring and did the wedding and all that type of stuff, he came clean. So in his mind, in their mind, it was before I be getting serious, before I get serious with you, which is what marriage is in the world. It's not the fact that she gives him her box already, right? She lays down with him and has sex with him and he has sex with her. That's not serious. That's not serious. But what is serious is that wedding ring. So I'll have sex with you and we'll have sex with each other. And then I can be honest with you before marriage and say, I want to be with other women or whatever these deal breakers are. And we can just walk away scotch-free because we haven't done anything serious yet. Well, that's another thing that shows why you're not free. You can't identify real marriage. You can't accept real marriage because you have adopted the white man's idea of marriage. You're not free. You're oppressed. That's what you are. You're oppressed. And now this man who's coming out about his relationship preference is being persecuted. And the girl who's an absolute whore artist, who's had a long list of men, she's felt sorry for because again, the women are the rulers. We can't fault her. This has to fall on Klay. This is the man's fault. And that's to show you exactly why we're reading what we're reading. And this is an example of it. You're not actually free. You're oppressed. Read that again,
And I will give them Isaiah chapter 3, verse 4.
Hmm?
And I will give them,
verse 5.
5. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another.
You see what I'm saying? Everyone by another. You know, this brother is saying she's oppressing him because he just wants to love her and be with her, right? And be with another woman too. But now he got to lose her and not have love. And the thing about that is these people represent the minority. These people, all this money they got, made the stallion all her money and then Klay with all his money. But us regular people, right, that got regular jobs and regular salaries and 3 and 4 kids together, that turns out to be something that becomes devastating to a household. Your wife is now leaving you. The woman you've made kids with and gotten this house with is now, gonna leave you because you want to have another woman. We are oppressed one by another. Go ahead and read.
Everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
The child shall have behaved himself proudly against the ancient.
That's what I was just talking about earlier. The children, the ancient is talking about the old heads, the OGs, the elders. They act proudly against the elders. They ain't listening. Them girls, you think that we our ancestors or the OGs or the real elders that we know about would approve of the life we live right now? Absolutely not. I seen a video with 2 young girls called they mama who was married for 30 years and asked her questions that people are arguing about on Facebook and social media today about her, to ask her about from her perspective as a wife who's been with the man for 30 years. And one of those questions had to do with her her man being with another woman. You know what she said? She said, listen, at the end of the day, I don't expect any man to be faithful, to just have one woman. I don't expect that. In my mind, all men cheat. But I love this man. And as long as I don't see it, and as long as he don't bring this over here, bring it in front of me, I don't care about it. That's what she said. And this is the type of mentality of a woman who's been married for 30 years. But meanwhile, you got women like Meg Thee Stallion who wants this certain type of man and doesn't never find him. But does that stop her from sleeping with them? No, it doesn't stop her from sleeping with them, though. She sleeps with them, and everything she doesn't want a man to do, she does. She sleeps with multiple people. She has interest in multiple people, maybe not at the same time, but one after another, which is the same thing as poly at the end of the day. But a woman who is absolutely in her true nature, her true, resting in her femininity with wisdom and truth, saying, nah, listen, I love this man. This man got qualities I cannot find in any man. There's things about this man that heals me, that makes me feel better, that lifts me up, that makes me feel secure. I'm not about to lose that because of what he's doing. As long as it don't affect me, as long as it don't stop what he does here at this house. And she's been married for 30 years. So, as per what we're reading in these scriptures right now, all of this and what we're doing right now today, the elders wouldn't say that this is how we should be acting. But because the Bible is absolutely right when it says that the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient, that's why we behave the way we behave today, because we really think we got something that our ancestors didn't have. We think we found out something, or we understand something that our great-grandmothers or great-grandfathers didn't know or understand. We got some new information now, and it's causing us to be oppressed. It's causing our families to be destroyed. Go ahead and read.
In the base against the honorable.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
When a
And
man
the base
should,
against the honorable is talking about authority. You know what I mean? Like the people at the bottom are the ones that, are going up against the people who are at the top, who are the leaders, or in the sense of honorable, meaning the dignitaries per se, right? Go ahead and read.
when a man should take hold of his brother
Mm-hmm.
of the house of his fathers, saying,
Mm-hmm.
Thou have clothing, be thou our ruler, and let this ruin be under thy hand.
You see what I'm saying? And what's happening in this scripture right here is that the shortage of black men, good black men, and strong, all of what we just read, the mighty man, the man of war, the prudent man, the counselor, all of those men are so scarce, and they're not even found. Where they at? We just see a brother, he got on good clothes, he dressed nice. And he be like, hey man, can you lead us? You lead us. He looking for a leader anywhere. And this is something we should learn from. This is something we should learn from. We should learn the importance of a strong black man. We should learn the importance of that. And then a lot of you sisters that's out here in the world or in society can actually have a more secure life. Your children can be secure and healthy. You understand? Brothers like myself can be able to stop being a child. Adults can have the leadership they need by a strong black man, having a strong black man, not just in the house, but in the community, over the nation. And again, that's what the ISUPK represents. And that's why we say it all the time. This is where these men that are gone, that you trying to find so hard and long for, they're all here. We're in here. You just don't want to deal with us because we say that the white man is the devil. You don't want to deal with us because we tell you the truth. You don't want to deal with us because we're going to have multiple wives. You don't want to deal with us for all of those reasons are the things that you, again, want to hold on to that you learned from the white man. That you became free to do what the white man does. You don't want to take what we're saying, but we're the men. It's us that the Bible is speaking about. That's going to free you from oppression, free you from your suffering. Those sisters that's raising these children by themselves and are overwhelmed and in survival mode, you need a man. Call those kids father. Get a man and listen to him, and you'll be able to have children that don't have to go. You don't have to raise by yourself, right? So again, we are going to end up just looking for anybody, and that's what sisters are doing. Everybody's doing the same thing. The next nigga that come up and that's what happened with Barack Obama. We didn't give a damn about nothing. He's just a black. He black. Hey, you rule over us. Ain't that what we did? Ain't that what we did, Thakamas?
Con.
In that day, we shall swear. Hold on, no, where we at? When a man shall take hold of his brother of the house of his father, saying, "Thou hast clothing, but be thou our ruler." Like he be looking at Barack Obama like it's a man, it's a black man. Of course, we know he's not a black man. He's an Hamite or an African, and Negroes or African Americans are not Africans. But we've fallen so far down and so hard, and we're so beat down that we seen that black face and we just said, "Hey, you rule over us." He didn't care about what he was talking about, what he was saying. It didn't matter. It was just about we messed up, we oppressed, we getting unalived by the police officers in the street, police brutality. We got this going on. We don't got nothing. Hey, you, we're gonna vote for you. You rule over us. And he the same person that came in and did nothing for black people. Did nothing for black people. Do you understand? Introduce, legalize gay marriage. You see what I'm saying? Legalize gay marriage, and now you got a wildfire of homosexuality that now started to consume who? Black men. All because we're so beat down that we just went for any man to lead over us. Well, it's true that we need a man to lead over us, and we do need strong men. But we don't need just any man. And that goes for the sisters too. You need a man, sis. But you don't need just any man. The man you need, he may not tell you everything you want to hear. He may not be just with you, right? Other women are going to need him too. Other women are going to need him too. Other children of other sisters are going to need him. You understand? Because he's a high commodity. It's rare. He's rare. But he's very well needed. And he may not be everything you were looking for in all the boxes that you was going to check off from your checklist that you created from the white man's influence and love and hip hop and all that. But he's going to make sure that you're not oppressed. He's going to protect you. He's going to lead you. He's going to make sure that you and your children don't spoil. And we're living in that time right now. And we got to accept that, because if we don't, the state of emergency that we're in right now is becoming fatal every day for black men and black women and children. It's becoming fatal. It's bad. Sisters are again looking up to Meg Thee Stallion. That's the next generation is going to get worse. It's going to be worse than this generation and the next generation. And we'll be so far removed from the traditions and the lifestyles of our fathers before us. But, we can let the Bible speak for itself. And if you believe the Bible, then you'll just, then you'll understand what this is saying and you'll get right. Listen to God. Listen to the Bible. Go ahead and read.
In that day shall he swear, saying, I will not be an healer, for in my house is neither bread nor clothing.
You see what I'm saying? Black men is so weak, beat down. We've reduced ourselves to bread and water and a house and money. When we as black men embody the spirit of God, the dominance of the Most High's dominance was instilled inside of black men, Hispanic men, Native Indian men. There's nothing more valuable than that. That's why the Bible says, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. You don't get your value from your house or the food you buy and eat or the amount of money you have. You get your value from the wisdom you obtain from the Lord, your obedience to God. That's where your value comes from. That blood in your vein, you being a prince of the power. That's why the Bible says, I know thy works and thy tribulations, but thou art rich. So yeah, you don't swear. You swear you don't have this bread. You don't have all of this like he just read right now. I would not be a healer, for my house is neither bread nor clothing. Yeah, I know your works and your tribulations, but guess what? You are rich, and we've forgotten that. Because now we've been again, by influence of social media and TV and generations of being ruled by women. Now black men have just reduced themselves down to the tangible things that they obtain. How much money do you got? How many clothes you got? How many shoes you got? You see what I'm saying? That's what we reduce out to. Because now and then, of course, you know, if you look at the statistics. The average salary in the black household is probably about 60,000, 70,000, 60, something like that, which ain't a lot of money at all. You understand? And they'll say that ain't nothing. And now black men that even make 60,000, they not enough. That's why women are saying, I need a high value man, a 6-figure man. All the women want the same man. They want the same man. I'm telling you, there's only 10 of them. There's only 10 niggas that got all the money. You see what I'm saying? That's got the 6 figures and all that. And guess what? They all want him. But you know what? They don't want to share him. They don't want to share him either. But again, we as men and women are going to have to reevaluate our values. We're going to have to align our values with the things that the Lord says is valuable and not by what the white man says is valuable. We're going to have to live our lives according to what the Most High says is acceptable and not by what the white man says is acceptable. Because the white man may say you cannot have multiple wives, that you have to be with one woman and that's it. But you know what a white man also is acceptable? For you to have sex with whoever you want to have sex with. And it doesn't have to mean anything at all. So, choose the truth, choose the wisdom of God, and that we can be able to find our true value as black men and Hispanic and Native Indian men and women, and be able to heal from whatever all the state that we're in right now. All right, go ahead and read.
Make me not a ruler of the people.
Go ahead.
For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah is fallen, because their tongue and their doing.
Hold up. Read that again.
Because their tongue. And their doing.
Because their tongue, but the things that they say out of your mouth, the things you say out of your mouth, you hear the things that Meg Thee Stallion says out of her mouth? Do we hear it? You hear WAP before? You listen to that song before? What is it chanting in the background? It's some whores in this house. It's some whores in this house. And all they're talking about is having sex for profit. That's it. Because of their tongue, go ahead.
And their doing.
And they're doing all of the things we do. All of the relationships we jump one to another. All of the sisters we have sex with and abandon. The drugs we do. The holidays we celebrate. We prostitute our daughters. We follow after our own lust and our own happiness instead of the things that the Lord will, the things that are the Lord's will. We don't do that. We follow what we want to follow. We do what we want to do. And because of our tongue and our doings, go ahead.
Are against the Lord.
They are against the Lord. Those are the things that's why we are falling. That's why we're in the state that we're in right now as a people, because of the things we say and that we do that are against the Lord. Is it against the Lord for a man to have more than one wife? No, it's not. So then why is it a big deal for Meg Thee Stallion not to remain with the man she's been having sex with? Huh? Why is she not gonna remain with the man that she's having sex with when it's God's approval for a man to be with more than one woman? Well, for the things that you say and the things you do that are against God, the people fall. You understand? Jerusalem is ruined and Judah is fallen. We're in a bad place. Look at you think this is going to do good for her reputation? How many more men is going to let her down, or she's going to leave before we say, damn, well, she done been with 30 niggas now. Shit, she done been, you see that list they got on there with the guys lined up behind it with their names over their head. Before that list just keeps increasing, 10 years from now, it's going to be 4 more dudes. I went back and did the research, and it's 5 known relationships that she's been in the last 5 years. So, you know, as for ratio, she got a different man every year. Klay Thompson was just the next in line. And that's going to be your reputation. And that's not righteous. That's not a good reputation. That's the reputation of a woman who's falling. I should have had the echo on that. Falling. You understand? And all of this is what we're saying is what we have to change in order to get out of this position. You want to have hope for someone like Meg Thee Stallion to be able to have a good man? Well, you should tell her the things and make sure she do the things and say the things that are according to what God says and not against what God says. You want to have hope for women like Meg Thee Stallion to have a good man and have a good relationship and be put up. You understand? Well, tell her to stop saying and doing the things that are against God. And who gives a damn about the things that she agrees with or disagrees with? Because if it's okay to be a hoe, but it's not okay to share your man, then you not somebody. Again, this is why it says the they that rule over us cause us to error. That women rule over them and they cause us to error. Then that's why, because you can be over to support whoredom, but you can't support a man having more than one wife. Yeah. So you tell Meg Thee Stallion that she needs to say and do the things that are with God and not against God. If you support her, if you support your sister, you care about your sister and you support her, and you're rooting for her to be able to get that knight in shining armor. Like, you tell her this. Stop doing the things and saying the things that are against the Lord. Go ahead and read.
To provoke the eyes of his glory.
Yeah, to provoke the eyes of his glory. Go ahead and read.
To show that their countenance doth witness against them.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, we see what's going on. You know, you see what's going on. We see. We don't have to guess if Meg Thee Stallion is a whore. The proof is there. We see it. The things she says, what she does. You don't have to. Look at Diddy. We don't have to think that Diddy is not a deviant, a sexual deviant. We see it. We watching the things he does. We see it. It shows. It shows. What did it say? Read that part again.
To provoke the eyes of his glory.
No, the
To
shoe.
show their countenance
Mm-hmm.
doth witness against them.
Yeah, it witness against them, man. It's the thing that's why they in jail. That's why Diddy in jail. We know what's happening. You know, and Meg Thee Stallion, she can cry a river. You know, but at the end of the day, your decisions is led you here. Your way of thinking, your way of beliefs, your belief system has led you here. This ain't got nothing to do with Klay Thompson. This got something to do with you. You understand? Go ahead and read.
And they declared their sin as Sodom they hide it not.
All right, they don't hide it, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's drop that out. You get the picture, right? You get the picture. They don't hide it, man. This is they're proud. They're proud against the ancient. They don't, they're babes. They're children. They think they're doing right. They think they know what they're doing. They think they're adults because they're 30, they're 40. They think they are adults and they're grown. You hear it all the time, right? Meanwhile, when you look at the statistics, infidelity is statistically over 20% of married men admit to cheating. And that's just the things that are reported. It's so much that's underreported that ain't even been reported. You see what's happening every day. Why are they not together? Infidelity. Why are they breaking up? Cheating. Why they ain't together no more? Cheating. Cardi B. Why she ain't with her man no more? He was with somebody else. Meg Thee Stallion. Why you ain't with your man no more? Is he cheating? Or why you ain't? Oh, so it seems like there's something about men being with other women that's probably more serious than we're admitting, than we're trying to even grasp right now. And if you continue to overlook it, you're gonna keep giving yourself to a man that you think is going to just be with you, just to find out he's not. And then you'll just leave him, and you'll be wrong, and you'll go be with somebody else. And again, that's your countenance of showing against you. It's a witness against yourself. The things you're doing, the things you're going through, the result of your actions is what you're going to pay for. You're going to have to go through that, right? This ain't, again, these are the facts. Drop that. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 28 and start me off at verse 54, all right? Deuteronomy chapter 58, verse 28, verse 54. You understand? And this is Deuteronomy 28, so this is all about the curses. You understand? All this stuff that we go through is curses, man. These is curses that we going through. Like you don't think that we all this single mother stuff and kids being raised by their mama and poverty, STDs, and homelessness, all this stuff, like a family being torn apart, another man sleeping with your wife. That's all curses, man. And what is it going to lead to? Go ahead and read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54.
Right.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we was just talking about earlier, man. These brothers ain't warriors. These ain't warriors out here. These ain't mighty men. These men out here is weak. They weak, man. And when you get a brother like Klay Thompson that's strong enough to say, hey, man, like, I don't think I could be with one woman. You got to respect that. That's honorable. That's honorable right there. Because most men are just going to lie. They're just going to lie. They're going to lie to you as the woman and say, nah, I'm just going to be with you. I love you. And they're going to sleep with women behind your back. Sleep with other women, and you're going to be in a poly relationship, relationship of multiple wives unknowingly. Go ahead. You got to get the mic.
It's like you, sir. Nowadays, they might even be on the down low and sleep with other men.
See what I'm saying? Not only is they lying to you, they having sex with men, let alone women. That's true. I see those stories all the time. That's what you want to end up with? You want to end up with that. A guy that's going to bring home AIDS because he's sleeping with other men. Or the guy that's going to beat you up and because he's weak. He's tender-eyed and he's soft and weak and emotional. Or the guy that's going to have sex with your daughter. Is going to touch your child. All because you want to pass up on the guy that was honorable and truthful about what he wants to do in his lifestyle. You understand? And you want to pass that up. All because you wanted to pass him up. This is what you end up with. You understand? And then not only that, the same men, the tender, he offend his brother, he lied his brother, he sleeping with his brother's wife. See what I'm saying? He's just not honorable. See what I'm saying? Go ahead and read.
His toward the wife of his bosom.
See, and toward the wife of his bosom, toward his brother and the wife of his bosom. Same thing I just said just now. He's gonna lie to you, and he's gonna lie to his brothers too. He's gonna offend you. He's gonna offend his brothers. He's gonna offend everybody. He's gonna offend everyone. He ain't just gonna go and have. He's not just gonna go and have another wife. He's gonna have sex with your sister, with your daughter, with your mom. Yeah, he's gonna have sex with your son. He's gonna offend you. He's gonna offend his brothers, his everybody. He's gonna shame himself and everybody else. And this is what we are seeing today. This is the fall of our men, the fall of this society, and the importance of having a strong black man and being and saying and doing the things that are aligned with the Lord. Go ahead and read.
And toward the remnant of his children.
Yeah, man, you know.
Which he shall leave.
You see what I'm saying? Now the same guy you talk about, there are some deadbeat guys out there too. They are. They could take care of their children, and ain't nothing stopping them from doing it. But they so emotional, and they don't lack accountability, and they just want to run the streets and have sex over here and have sex over there, and put a baby in this woman and put a baby in that woman. And all their lives, their whole life is just about enjoying themselves and fulfilling their lust and being happy. Doesn't that sound familiar? That's just what women do too. That's just what women are doing too. They're on the pursuit of happiness. His brother's out here, he ain't got no accountability because he, guess what? More importantly, 9 times out of 10, he was raised by a woman. He was raised by a woman. No male leadership, and definitely not no mighty man. You understand? Some of the people got uncles and stuff in their life, and what the uncle doing? Showing them how to get drunk, you know, showing them how to not be accountable, how to not keep a job, how to not be responsible. That's all they doing is sleeping around, having sex over here, having sex, and again, that's in addition. That type of man is an addition, and is an addition to the lack of men that we do have for other reasons. So when you have a strong man, which is again absolutely needed, the Bible says, "Play the men for the people." That's what the Bible says. Play the men for the people. Shew thyself a man. Stand in the gap. Stand in the hedge. Be the strong man over your house, so your house don't get spoiled. The Bible is clear about the importance of a black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man. But we gotta actually understand as men the importance of who we are, to be able to be stronger and hold each other accountable, to not sleep with a whore, to prove a friend, to transform our minds, to be more disciplined. You know, the whether we be in jail, right? Whether we drug dealing, whatever the case may be, wherever we at, we got to have men that are going to be the man to raise more men. And sisters got to respect those men. They got to respect that man. When the time comes, you got to be able to put your feelings aside and put your ego aside, and that's a good one, your emotions to the side, to be able to know what's really important to you, what's important to the Most High, you know, what the value is according to the Lord, so you can be able to receive that man and be able to be protected and not be spoiled. Go ahead and read.
So that he will not give any of them of the flesh of the children whom he shall eat.
Yeah. So not give to any of them, meaning like he's not gonna be a provider. He's not. You raising these men This all got to do with the white man. The white man is to blame. All right. If I wasn't clear about that yet, the white man is to blame for all of us being. I said it in the beginning of the class. I don't want this to sound like a woman bashing class, just like I don't want it to sound like we bashing men. We're correcting everyone from not being like the white man, from letting go of the white man's culture, letting go of the freedom we've been given to be like the white man. That's what this is all about. Our men are not providing for their children the same way white people don't provide for their children. Because what are white people doing to their children? They touching on them. They eating children. They molesting children. That's what they doing. Look at Epstein files. You think that's a joke? You think that's a conspiracy? That's real. All these kids, as white kids, is growing up shooting up schools and got all of this hate inside them. Where do you think it come from? From them being abandoned in the household, them being let down and not being validated at home, because white men are weak. White men are weak, right? So now we become like them, and guess what? Now we don't feed our own children. We don't take care. We're not accountable for what we put our rod inside of. You know what I mean? We're not accountable for what the mistakes that we made to be able to accept it, the correction. And to lock in with the decisions that we made and lay in that bed. I made these kids, I got to raise these kids. I married this woman, I got to be with her forever. Instead, we're going to offend our wife and lie to her and lie to our brothers and abandon our kids, be deadbeat dads. You know, deadbeat dads, not providing not even just money, but the wisdom and morals to your family. You know what I mean? To the point again that now again you still have the same thing. Women are raising kids by themselves. They overwhelmed and they disconnected. You know, fathers is abandoning their families and their siblings is now divided, and now there's no unity. They looking at these kids is better than my kids over here. I mean, than me. I'm his firstborn. He don't love them over there. It's so much confusion and chaos because weak men are being raised. All the strong men are being taken away. Go ahead and read.
Because ye have nothing left him in the siege, and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates.
Go ahead.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
Yeah, so the tender and delicate woman, that's again, I was talking about the women from our past, right? They were so tender and delicate. You used to see them, used to have on long dresses with the hair that was in a nice little ponytail, and they would look like princesses. They were tender and delicate. Now you look at Meg Thee Stallion, they got long nails that's like 4 inches long nails, eyelashes that come up here and arch down like an evil villain, and lips that they blowing them up, they're blowing up the behinds, wearing dresses that just revealing all of their curves and assets. But read it again. What does it say?
The tender and delicate woman among you. Which you should not venture to set the sole of her foot upon the ground.
Yeah, they so tender and delicate. You don't even want to put their sole of their foot to touch the ground. And that's what sisters got to understand as well. Like, men are not attracted to you because you have a PhD. We don't care about your PhD. You think we care about your bachelor's degree? You think we care that you make 6 figures? See, you don't look at things the way we look at things. That much stuff might be important to you, but it's not important to us. And you can go and shake your behind and get 1 million likes all day, but we'll never make you our wife. We'll never wife you. Klay Thompson may have seen her on the internet and WAP talking about that WAP. And like, you know what? I want to see. And played house long enough to get the experience and get a feel for it and then be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and head out. Because in actuality, you can be Meg Thee Stallion, have a nice body, make a bunch of money, and have, WAP and still get left. still get abandoned, still don't get considered, no real intention for marriage with you. And you got to understand that men want a tender and delicate woman, a type of woman that's so soft and so, feminine that you don't want her to work. Now he got to go get a PhD now. I got to go do whatever it takes for her not to be able to work because her hands are so soft and she's so gentle and delicate and so feminine that I don't even want her to go outside. It's so cruel out here. It's so cruel outside, and the workforce is so cutthroat. That it's creeps out here and it's dangerous. Baby, I just want you to stay at home with the kids and don't leave the house. I'm gonna drop the groceries off. That's how it was back in the day. Man would bring the money home, work hard, bring the money home, bring the groceries, and that woman would take those groceries, cook it, take the money too. Pay all the bills, right? He's handing a check over. They was paying all the bills for the house. They took care of the house. The man went out, worked, and did all of the hard work and everything because that woman was just so tender and delicate that we couldn't have her out here in this society. But today's women, though, they want that. They want to go play in traffic. They want to play in traffic. They want to fight a man. They wish a nigga would. I wish he would. But they say, I fight men. I fight niggas. You think that's cute? You think that's attractive? Listen, man. No, you don't need my protection. Obviously, you don't need me to get the door for you. Yeah, you sound like you got this in the bag. Listen. I'm just trying to give you a ride up there. You don't want to get a ride because you don't need no man. You want to walk. You'll walk if you got to. You'll walk 5-6 blocks to the kid's doctor's appointment, man, because you tough and rough. Well, no sweat. Well, every man sees that. And they may like you enough to be attracted to you sexually, but they'll never be there for the long run. They won't be there for the long run. And then more importantly, that attraction, that lust is not a good thing to have the attraction of a man by. You want to attract a man by the value that you bring from your femininity. You want to attract the man with your modesty. You see what I'm saying? You want to attract the man with those things because that man, he's not going to be lustful. You're not giving him anything to lust over. But you give him some things that he can consider like, damn, she gonna be a good mother. Man, she'll be a good wife. Not damn that ass fat. I can't wait. I want that. Damn, look at that. Damn, look how she put making those passes at me and stuff. Like, damn, she trying to get me. She wanted D. All right. So again, we gotta get out of that white mentality. Forced monogamy is white culture. That's white culture. All of this sex is just sex is white culture. Sex is marriage according to the Bible. That's a fact. I'll read it to you in Exodus. At the end of the day, all of the things that we've learned in this society about love, about happiness, about trust, those things are not what we understand them to be according to God. It's two different things. And if we continue to behave like the white man, then guess what? That man that's tender-eyed, that's the one who could have been somebody who would work hard for you and, stick it out with those kids through the hard times, through the low times, he's not. He's going to abandon you and abandon the kids. He's going to abandon his brothers. And the same thing for the sister that was tender and delicate. Go ahead and finish that, matter of fact. Same thing for the woman that was tender and delicate, so much so she didn't even want the sole of her foot to touch the ground, let alone that. How them videos where say my hand look like this, so her hand can look like that when his hand is all oily and her fingers all soft and it's all moisturized. That's like what this is talking about. Like you get a woman that's tender and delicate, you want to work hard for her. Nobody wants to work hard for a whore. Nobody want to work hard for a strong woman, that don't even sound right. If you strong, get that door. You see what I'm saying? That's how it is, man. So like we've gotten that missing. Black women have been miseducated. You know what I mean? About because again, we like I said, as for my people, like we just read about earlier, other people are not being taught to be a strong white woman, a strong Asian woman, but we are being taught our sisters to be strong black women. That's propaganda and manipulation. The manipulation of women is so high that they are probably one of the most greatest tools against black people, black men. You understand? And black people, obviously, because we are one. Because again, that's the wife of our bosom. The woman, they're in our bosom. That's our family. They're in our hoods, in our house. It's our mama. You see what I'm saying? It's our sisters, our nieces. You know, so go ahead and read though.
To set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes should be evil toward her husband of her bosom, toward her son, and toward her daughter.
That's right. Same exact thing on the flip side. They're not gonna be that same way no more, man. You keep taking up this white man's culture, and you gonna become a monster. You're not gonna be no delicate princess. You're gonna be a monster, and the same monster that you are is the same monster you're gonna get. Because that man that you want, he's gonna be a monster as well. What's the scripture say? Precept.
Evil woman is given to an evil man.
That's right. Excellent precept. Give him a hand. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Same vice versa. You ended up with that deadbeat ass nigga because you are a monster. It's something about you too, right? Something about you too. You didn't get advice. You didn't get counsel. You didn't listen to. You was proud against the elders. You didn't listen to the elders. You know what I mean? You didn't listen to the UPK, the honorable men. You were down there in the trenches trying to, go based on what you know because you grown and you done been around the corner. You done did this and you did that. Well, that's why you see the results of your knowledge and of your wisdom. You made that decision. You cannot blame a black man. You can't blame him. You opened your legs to him. You're both equally accountable for your action. You both made a bad decision. Neither one of you are better than the other. The sister call in and say, "Oh man, I think I forgot what it said. Something about her, somebody leaving a man because all he did was get drunk all the time, or something about that, something to that degree." And all we think about is what type of woman would marry a drunk, right? Because all the time we say, "Oh, this man, I left him because of this. I left him because of that." But why did you get with him? What's the reason you got with him? So again, we got to be able to correct ourselves and know the importance. Take me to Lamentations chapter 5 and correct ourselves and get back to our culture and leave the white man's culture alone. White man's culture, again, he doesn't all of what we just read about a man and a woman right now and changing from this tender-eyed woman and these mighty men and going and turning into a scoundrel and a whore is because we are abandoning what God gave us and we're loving what the white man has for us. And that's why we're suffering. That's why we're being oppressed. Go ahead and read Lamentations chapter 5 verse 3.
Lamentations chapter 5 verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
We are orphans.
We are what?
We are orphans.
Yeah, we are orphans, Zach. You know what an orphan is? An orphan is somebody that just a young child, or in some cases, a young animal whose parents are dead, or they just, somebody that just don't have a parent around. They go into the orphanage. They don't have leadership. They don't have parents. Go ahead and read.
And fatherless.
Because not only we don't have parents, we more importantly don't have fathers. Again, it shows the importance of having a father in the household, having a man as a sister, to have a man to need a man or a husband. We need that. You need it. We need leadership. We need strong men. It's important. Go ahead and read.
Our mothers are widows.
Yeah, we need that. We need the fathers for the protection and the guidance. But we are orphans and fatherless now. Guess what? We're missing the leadership. We don't have the covering. We have no direction. And at the same time, our mothers are what?
Or as widows.
Yeah, they are as widows. They are moving like they're happy and they got it made up that, you know, I'm just waiting for this man, my standards. I'm not gonna compromise my boundaries and my standards. And whole time they're as widows. And widows, they mourn. Widows mourn. You understand? They lose their husband, they lose their man, they mourn. Want to know why? Not only because they love that man, but because that man was a part of her stability. It was a part of her growth. It's a part of her, you know, her shared responsibility. You know, kids, for example, right? Now he's dead and he's gone. She's a widow. She's lamenting. She's sad. She's crying. She's mourning. That's what women are doing, man. They don't want to admit it, but you know, if you know, sisters out there that's listening, and brothers who see the sisters that's out here, they're crying. Look at Carter. I mean, what's her name? Meg Thee Stallion. How you think she feels right now? She had a man, and then now she left him. She left him, and then what? Now I'm about to disappear for a while. I mean, I did this, and I was around your family. She's hurt. She's hurt. Go ahead.
She actually took another step. She told the women that you should go out and cheat on your man first.
See, I got to see that.
Yeah.
I got to see that. I got to see that to believe that. I got to see that to believe that. But nonetheless, she's hurt, and to do something like that would be absolutely bitter, which is a part of pain and hurting. To just do things, you know, as a woman because you're hurt. You're a widow. You lost your man. You got rid of him. You let him go, and you needed him. You believed in him. You needed him. You counted on him. You relied on him. You know what you should do, sis? You should just be with him. You should be with him. You should get back with him and stay with him, and you don't have to cry. You can be adults, and you can talk to him about this lifestyle. Y'all can work it out. And then now, not only that you can have him and be able to have the benefits of having a mighty man, a strong man, an honorable man that was just honorable enough to tell you the truth, but someone else can have him because they're not plentiful. They're not plentiful. And the ones that are out there, they not, you got it, they got their own standards as well. Go ahead, what you about to say?
It says cheat first trend takes over social media after Megan Thee Stallion split from Klay Thompson. Here's what it means.
Yeah, so that's saying that like that's just women. That's just women who are also widows, right? Or soon to be widows, because you do something like that, you're gonna be a widow. Your man is gonna leave you, and if he's raised by a woman, he's probably gonna beat your face in. That's the truth. That's how that happens. You're cheating and being a whore, and he's soft and weak because he didn't have a real man in his life or a father in his life. And now, because you've insulted him and pushed him to unforeseen levels of anger, now he's done something that he didn't even think about, something he's going to regret later when he hits you and unalives you. That's what General Muhammad was just bringing out, wasn't it? When he was telling women to escape monogamy, because if not, your husband is going to kill you. Your husband is going to kill you. Why? Because he can't just be with you, and you're going to leave him, and he can't have that. So that's not a good idea, but that's just bitter women who are just like Meg Thee Stallion, who are drama, like Captain Isupk brought out. They're drama bonding. They're drama bonding, trauma bonding. This woman is a representation of me because my man cheated on me. My man left me. I'm single now, right now, because niggas ain't this and niggas ain't that. Well, guess what? We should all just cheat. That's that. But Meg Thee Stallion, there's no proof that she said that. But again, you'll be widows and you'll be in mourning. Right? Go ahead and read.
We have drinking our water for money.
We were drinking our water for money. Go ahead.
Our wood is sold unto us.
You see what I'm saying? Like the things that now belong to us are being sold to us. We don't have our things. What is the music? Who is leading in the music industry? Black people. What's the boy named? Bad Bunny had the greatest, outcome or whatever they call it in the Super Bowl history. More than Michael Jackson, who is another black man. Where's that? What's happening with that music? Who's making money off that music? Amalek, the white man, is making money off that. He's selling it to us. Bad Bunny is performing, doing the singing and the dancing, and the white man is collecting all the money because they selling it to us and getting our money. It ain't going to them. It's going to the white man. The buildings we build up. We built America with our hands. Sisters go into these universities and excel and become innovators, become scientists and engineers, and push forward every society that women are in. And who gets paid for it? How much do they benefit from it? At all. They don't benefit it. And even down to just the food and water, brother, that's free. It's free. And we got to pay for that too. Because we have lost our place. We've fallen. And all of it has to do with our allegiance to America and white culture instead of to the culture of the Most High. Our doings and sayings being against the Lord. That's what it's all about. You're going to become widows. You're going to mourn. You'll be 50 and 60 years old. You'll be single. And your kids will be in and out of jail. And your daughters will be whores. And they'll be in your house with their grandchild. And they'll be living there with you with no ambition and bringing guys in and out of your crib to have sex with and make more babies because you just didn't want to accept being with a man that is having more than one wife according to what God approves. Any more on that? Give me Isaiah. Wait, let me see. I got 15 minutes left. Give me fuck it. Let's go there. Excuse my language. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. So now after getting through Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, and all of the, the children are your oppressors, and babes rule over them, and the women rule over them, and the leaders cause them to err. All that in the 3rd chapter leads up to where we at right now. Go ahead and read.
Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day. Hold it right there. And in that day. This is talking about right now, today. Because just like we were reading all about the weak men and all of the weak women, and there being a shortage on mighty men and a shortage on warriors and a shortage on counselors, men and craftsmen, all the shortage. Guess what? All that made sense about what we see right now today too, don't it? Well, that's why all this is going to make sense about today too as well. Go ahead and read. In this day, go ahead. And in that day, 7 women should.
7 women. Now, this is not talking about, this is not just literal. This is talking about more than one woman. A number of women. A number of women. Right? Go ahead and read.
Women should take hold of one man.
Shall do what?
Take hold of one man.
Now, let's understand what's being said here, right? It says, shall take hold. You take hold of something, that's a representation of a need. You see what I'm saying? Like when you need something, you take it. You need it. I'm not taking this. Like you don't go in the store and just buying stuff because you got money. No, you getting food and groceries and stuff that you need. You taking it and grabbing and putting in your cart. You start to some of these diseases what they got like diabetes and stuff, your insulin spike. You gonna take hold of that what's that thing called? the little thing they put inside of the little shot and all that, syringe, whatever it's called, you're gonna take hold of that because you need it. You understand? You need it. You start having an asthma attack, you're gonna look for that inhaler, you're gonna take hold of that inhaler. You're gonna take hold of it. Insulin, I might have said it in the word, but yeah, it's diabetes, all that stuff. You know, I ain't too familiar with all that, but I knew you get what I'm saying, right? You're gonna take hold of that thing because you need it. That's what's happening right now. Many women are going to take hold. Go ahead.
We will
Take hold.
take hold of one man.
Of how many men?
One man.
How many men?
One.
One man. Why is this so?
Sing.
Well, hold on. Well, because one for one, the Bible says out of 1,000, I found one. Didn't the Bible say that? As my soul seeketh, my soul searcheth. Give me that scripture, you call. As my soul yet searcheth. See, when you really understand that the white man's culture and his value is garbage and where real value comes from, then you can see how high of a commodity a man is, and a particular kind of man, where the real value is at. And brothers, the same for you to understand this. Your value is not in what man says in the world and what the culture and TV says. There is something about you that no man on the earth can amount to. No Chinese man, no white man, no nothing. As much as you are at the bottom of every nation, there's something in you that gives you the authority. You understand? That gives you the right of way to be over all nations on the earth. And it ain't your money that white people give you. It ain't your job that white people give you. It ain't your house that the white man owns gives you the mortgage loan to go live in. No, it's something different than that. It's something different than that. And that once brothers and sisters alike understand that we can have more men who are going to have families and make those families the next generation that's going to be back to where the Most High intended us to be and back where Christ died for us to be. You understand? A healthy living environment, a healed nation above all nations. Go ahead and read.
This book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 28.
Go ahead. Which
yet my soul seeketh,
but
I found not one man among 8,000.
See?
Go ahead. Have I found? But a woman.
Hold on. You don't have to read that part. This is what we're saying. Out of 1,000, out of his soul seeking for a righteous man. That's what this is talking about. He's talking about a man who doesn't idolize a woman, that doesn't worship a woman. A man who is disciplined over his rod, who has discipline over the things that he does and the things that he says. That's according to what God's will is. Who go against the nation and be called a cult leader. Be called, that be hated by all. You understand? This type of man that doesn't care about how his mom looks at him or his dad, or, if he loses his wife because of this, or if he doesn't, his value is in righteousness. He doesn't care about anything else. And that type of man, the Bible says, my soul seeketh, and out of 1,000 of men, I found one. You understand? Well, we're reading right now in this book of Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1, that in that day, when when we in a state of emergency, right? All manner of hell has broken loose. This place has become the habitation of devils and the cage of every unclean bird and all the foul spirits. Y'all know the power, what I'm paraphrasing, right? The habitation of devils. That in this day, that there's going to be many women who are going to need this man. And the reason why they're going to take him is because he's righteous. That's it. It ain't going to matter. It ain't going to be no box to check about, is he monogamous? It ain't going to be no box to check about that. It's going to be, is he righteous? That's it. Because at this point, you done seen the downfall of women and what they've gone through by their beliefs, by the things that women have been regurgitating because of manipulation for the last 100 years or so, right? For the last 50, 60 years. From the feminist movement and all this stuff that's been going on. You see the track record. I brought out an excellent example of this one day. I was telling the brother, I said, one day in the past, crack was cool. Crack was cool. When crack first came out, crack was like weed. It was like, you see rappers that smoke weed and it's cool, right? Well, that's how crack was one point in time. It was the same way. Everybody was doing it. Everybody was doing it. It was so cool to do crack and smoke crack and sniff cocaine and do all those things. And then over time, as time went by, we started to see the people who were doing crack were starting to become less of themselves. They were starting to lose themselves. It started to not act like themselves, started to lose their mind and lose their value and become beneath themselves and started to compromise their integrity and have nothing anymore. And then now here we are today, and we look at crackheads like, that's, damn, man, he down bad. He on crack? Well, that's how over time we've seen the leadership of women. It was cool at once for the woman to stand there and put her fist up in front of the black man or without the black man. It was empowering. But now we're starting to see the effect of the woman being over black people and being over the nation. You understand? And women are going to start to realize it and see like, hey, man, we probably don't know what we're talking about. We probably are hurting each other by enabling each other and, encouraging each other to do these things that we've been doing for so long that it's not working. Look at this sister. She's in the hospital. This sister's dead. This sister's on 6 different medications. Look at what's happening. These kids are criminals. They're whores. It's bad. I don't want to be like them. I want to be better than that. I don't want to suffer what they suffered. I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to lose my integrity and lose everything. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to look for something different. And you look for a righteous man, someone who's loyal to the Lord, loyal to the king. He may want multiple wives. You understand? He may, say that the white man is the devil. You know what I mean? He may say you can't celebrate your birthday no more. You can't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster no more. We can't do Valentine's Day. We ain't getting tattoos. Now more tattoo parties. We can't get high. He gonna tell you that we can't do a lot of the things you probably grew up doing. But it's that way for a reason, because that very way of thinking is how all of us could have avoided suffering all this time. All of us could have avoided suffering all of this time. And that man is a rare man. And it's so much so that all of what's going on in the world today, 7 women, multiple women are going to need that man. And they're not going to care about sharing him. Go ahead and read it from the top.
And in that day, 7 women saying, we will eat our own bread.
Saying what?
We will eat our own bread.
See, when you find this man and when you put yourself aside, you know what I mean, and get out of your own self way, stop listening to your auntie and your mom and them, you're going to start to see that there's something that you needed this whole entire time that was greater than money. It was more than money. I thought they was telling me to go marry him because he got the bag. They was telling me to marry him because he had good credit, and marry him because he was going to provide me the lifestyle, the soft girl lifestyle, where he's going to pay for everything and pay all the money for everything. Well, it's going to come a time that you're going to realize that there's something that's a greater need that you as a woman have than money from a man, than money in period. You wanted to say something, Takamas? There's something that's greater than that. Why you think the Bible is saying that read that part again about the bread? Saying
we will eat our own bread.
Yeah, meaning we will eat our own bread. We'll eat our own bread. We don't gotta take me out to eat. You know they having them arguments about where you gotta take me at to go eat at if you gonna be my man. What is a Cheesecake Factory? Oh no, Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, you got me. Next, what they be saying? Double it and give it to somebody else. Give it to the next person. Double it and give it to the next person. Cheesecake Factory. Nope. Well, guess what? A woman is gonna figure out that, damn, I don't give a damn where this nigga take me out to eat. I need him. This man, I'll bring my own bread. I'll pay for the food. I'll buy the food. What you want, babe? What you want? Steakhouse? What you want? That's the value that they're not going to see in that man. And it ain't going to matter about how many women he got, how much money he got. And they going to know it. Go ahead and read.
And wear our own apparel.
Same thing. There's a greater need that you have than being bought Birkin bags, than being bought, Chanel and Gucci and red bottom shoes. You have a greater need than that, mama. It's something you're going to need that's greater than that. Auntie got red bottoms. And you see where she's at right now. Auntie's old and miserable and bitter. Look at her children. Look at Auntie's children. They're gay. Her son is a homosexual. He can't even, he won't a man breaking that house. They're both done. They're both done. Look at her daughter. Look at what's happening in her house. Look at these households that are being raised under women. Look at their life. They're overwhelmed. Look at her taking care of all those kids by herself. I don't want to be like that. There's something you need more than that. They got all these red bottoms and Birkin bags and all that, but they're suffering. They're mourning like a widow. You understand? Like a widow. And for that reason, listen, I know I was raised to find a man with money and have a man that's going to take me out to eat in nice restaurants and buy me the finest things, but I'll provide all those things for myself. Go ahead and read.
Only let us be called by our name.
All I need to do is be called by your name. That's all I need. His name. You understand what is happening right now? His name, his reputation, his discipline, his righteousness, his masculinity, his him being austere, all those things, and what he's doing for families and for children, and all of what he's doing is way more valuable than food and money, more valuable than clothes and Birkin bags and shoes. I'll get that stuff for myself, but you, I cannot go on Amazon.com and get. I cannot get you off of Klarna. I can't go do 4 payments and obtain you through Afterpay. I can't go and get go to China overseas and get a man like you off the shelf. You are a commodity. You are, and brothers, again, you have to be able to come into righteousness. You have to stand up and shew thyself a man. You have to be able to be the man that's going to stand for the people. Stand for what's right. Stand for the thing that was here before you and that's going to be here after you. The truth. You have to rule over women. You have to rule over men. You have to rule over children. You cannot let children oppress you and women rule over you. You can't do it you can't sell drugs for the children. You can't celebrate Christmas for the children. You can't do the Valentine's Day because your wife is going to make her happy. You got to do what makes the Most High happy, brother. Do that and be hated if that's what it's going to take. Be hated. No problem. Christ said, just know when they hated you, they hated me first. This is a part of the position, the job. Be hated, man. Let your wife hate you. Let your children hate you too. Doesn't it say it's better for your children to come and seek thee than to, what does it say? Than to to bow to you, then for you to bow to their courtesy? You're going to bow to your kids' courtesy and you're going to destroy their lives. And then what? You think they're going to say, oh man, you a great dad. No, they're going to say, you're the reason why I'm effed up. You're the reason. You wasn't strong enough to tell me I can't have this and I can't do that. And that, and didn't move past my tears. You just folded to me. And now look at me. Now I'm in and out of jail. I don't have no accountability. I just do everything I want to do. I have no boundaries. It's better for them to just go and do what they want to do because they don't want to listen to you and they hate you. And eventually one day say, you know what, Dad, you was right all along. I done been living this life, daughters too. You know what? He was right all along. I was a whore. I became a whore living the lifestyle that I wanted to live and not doing what you told me to do this whole time. Be right, brothers. Be right. Just be right. Who cares who likes you, who accepts you? Be right. Because one day, your children are going to seek you out. They're going to come and find you. They're going to say, where is my dad? I want to find him, and I got questions for him. And they're going to find out that you are the man. You're the man. You're the priest and prophet. You're a priest and prophet of God. You haven't been in their life because their mother's an evil whore. Right? Or just because the white man is the devil. They're going to find it out. Yeah, son, the white man is the devil. You never heard that before, have you? But welcome home, son. Welcome home. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You're going to find out. And then one day, it's going to be women who are going to line up at the door. They're going to be right at the door, at your door, knocking, and they don't want to go nowhere else. They don't want to see nobody else. They want you. They want you. Not because you're going to tell them what they want to hear. Not because you're going to bow to their courtesy. Not because of that, but because you are a man of God. You stand for righteousness. And they're going to submit to you. And all of the things that they thought was important, that they see become unsuccessful for all of their sisters and their home girls and stuff, they're not going to care about those things at all. They're gonna be with you. Go ahead and continue to read. Read that last part. And then we're gonna close it out. He said, only let us be called by thy name
to take away our reproach.
To take away our reproach. Right now, Meg Thee Stallion is the whore artist. That's what she is. She's the whore artist. She's the artist that raps about like a whore. Like she raps about having sex with men and just making money and getting men to do what she wants them to do. And guess what? Those men are weak men. Those are weak men. That's who they are. They're weak. That's what you want to be. You want to be the woman who gives your box up to weak men for money? Well, God forbid we allow our daughters to prostitute themselves, lest the whole entire land falls to whoredom. You understand? And then all of what we just experienced and talked about in the Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, where children are, out of their minds, men are being carried away captive into the prisons and everything else, all of that begins to happen. We'll stay in this position we're in right now, and it'll be a state of emergency, and it'll only get worse and worse and worse. But Megan is known as the whore artist. But let's say she does get with Klay Thompson, and Klay Thompson says, I don't want to be monogamous. I'm going to be with other women. And that's fine. Because you know what? She stays with him and bears him and through it all and stays loyal to him. You know what she would be known as? Somebody blow my mind. You know what she will be known as? No. We read it just now. Go ahead. Where are you? Oh, he was looking for the mic.
The servant.
That's not it. We read it. Read that part again, that last part in that scripture. Well, it said to take away her reproach, but what did it say before that? Right now, she's a whore. She's gonna leave him and just be more of a whore, right? But she can stay with him. Read it again. That all we would do, only do what? Only let us be called by thou name. Go ahead.
To take away our
To
reproach.
take away our reproach. Let us be called by your name to take away our reproach. Right now, she's the girl who raps about horror stuff, who was with Meek Mill, the baby, Party, whoever else, all these men. But she gets with Clay and stays with him, although he wants to be with other women, which is righteous according to God. Then she will not be known as a whore artist or a the girl that was with all these men, but she will be known as what? Because of her reproach being taken away. What is she be known as? That's right, brother. Give him a hand. She's going to be known as Miss Thompson. She's going to be Clay Thompson's wife. And that's an honorable title there, brother. That's an honorable title. No matter what he does, at the end of the day, you're in good state. You're good. You're his wife. You're loyal. You slept with a man, you made your bed, and you're laying in it. That's honorable and mature. You understand? And Clay being with more women, just as long as he know that those women he's gonna have to stay with, and hopefully he chooses the right women, right? Makes better choices and comes and becomes more righteous, right? To be more honorable. But it would be no problem at all. We'll never think about who Meg Thee Stallion used to be, what she used to do, who she used to be with, because the only thing we'll be talking about is who she's with right now. And next year, the same thing, and the next year, and then all throughout her life until her death, that's all we'll know her for. And eventually we'll never even think about who she was with before. And that's what that means by taking away her reproach. Has a new reputation now. She's got with a man and she stayed with him, and sisters, you find you a righteous man who is a rare commodity, but we're in here. I've grew up with 1,000 men, and out of those 1,000 men, I'm the one who came into the truth. You understand? Yakal was raised around thousands of men, and out of all those thousands of men, he came into the truth. And Thakamas came into the truth. And these young brothers right here in the front are in the truth. And all these brothers in the UPK are that 1 out of 1,000. We're here. It's us. We're the 1 out of 1,000. We're here. You understand? And we're not here to collect wives. We're here to serve the Lord. That's what we're here for. And with that, we're going to pass the class over to Preaching Officer Yakal Allah. Go ahead and get the announcements, all right?
This is ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, which means 10th in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath of unleavened bread, sundown, Sunday, April 12th, 2026. Count 50 days, celebrate the 50th day. That's Sunday, May 31st. Start before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22. Remember to check the bulletin board right there in front of the doorway. And if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pant, headband, scarf. This concludes the ISPK security announcements. And with that, men of Israel, Amajim. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Amaj Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Brakatah. Yadimata. So our faces sisters, Amajim, which means stand. We're going to give one courteous salute to the sisters. Men of Israel. Amad Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Shamar Lataba Shim Yahweh. Yadimata. Class dismissed.
If y'all can help me get this lawnmower in this back of this, that should be